so I managed to delete a video that was, I think, 57 hours in, and I had gotten General RADAHN down and started exploring the consequences of having finally beaten him. And it was a pretty short episode because I had mostly, or video, because I had mostly just done backtracking. But that was the big moment, was I took him out, and that took some doing. And I still was trying to figure out how to get into Volcano Manor. I thought I had locked myself out. Turns out I hadn't, which I'll talk about in a second. And you know, I started exploring the after effects of taking out RADAHN, which connected to some of the other underground stuff I had found before. And I was trying to, I think I was about to get into the city, or the capital, or I was working on the tree sentinel, the dragon tree, I don't know, the nasty sentinel guarding the entrance to the capital. So since then, now I'm at 83 hours, and I've accomplished quite a bit. I got into the capital. I defeated both bosses I initially found in there. One was like the first Elden Lord, right? And the other was like Morgott or whatever. And, you know, and then you get to the Elden Throne and what happens there, and you have to keep going, obviously, because you know, you can't end the game that early. Or maybe there's a way, I don't know, but not that I'm aware of. I went back to the shaded castle at that point, because in the process of, I still hadn't gotten into Volcano Manor. I mean, I'd gotten in there, but I hadn't really gotten to the dungeon, got to the bosses. So I ended up in the shaded castle, and I ended up finding Elmer the Briar, I think his name is. It took me a while, but I got him. And then one of the other things I'd been working on was Celia for quite a while. Caelid, I finally, in the process of this last chunk of time, like 30 hours or something, right? I finally did get through all that and took out the commander there and got the item I needed to get and gave it to the right person and moved that forward and found I think it's some kind of other optional boss in the back corner that was guarding a weapon, and went through all of that, which was really cool. And it was one of those things that just felt like I was never gonna get it done or figure out what I was supposed to do there, and I finally did. Then, I did at one point go back to the beginning areas and explore some stuff that I'd never explored, which was super easy now. I killed that first dragon at the lake that you're advised not to mess with, so I didn't ever actually even try before when I was lower level. So he went down without too much trouble. Surprise, surprise. And then I did get into Volcano Manor, and I got through both bosses there. I can't remember the name of, but the fat guy in the white clothes that's a pain in the butt, and then the bastard snake. That was kind of fun fight, you know, just because it's mechanically its own thing, but it's also just a little frustrating. But it's, yeah, anyway, I got it done. So that was done. That's down. I also got the, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I did get the Ancestor boss underground at the river, but I got the second one that comes with a remembrance since then, which was tied to things that open up after you kill another boss. So I got that down. I also there were some twins guarding a tower to activate a rune that you fight in the dark, which is kind of cool. I mean, they're kind of normal enemies. They're not really bosses, because you end up fighting those guys. But have two in the dark, and they're a little bit stronger. It was a little bit of a pain in the neck, but I was leveled enough to take them out. So that's pretty much everything I've accomplished. Stuff that I'm to do here. I've gotten down to Astel, or Astel, or whatever, the giant pain in the neck that's down past all the rot. and I haven't beaten him yet. I've been beating my head against him a little bit, and then I found Captain or Commander Niall that I gotta take out for a quest. And then there's a fire giant that's guarding the main quest line progression, which is gonna, one of those two, I think the commander guy is gonna be guarding what I need to open up what appears to be the last area on the map that's still clouded. Who knows? There could be more underground stuff or just other stuff. I have no idea. Considering I'm like 4 hours in though, seems like, yeah, who knows? I gotta be getting kind of close, right? As long as I actually start killing some of the stuff I'm stuck on. I released the Dung Eater. I went underneath the capital and released the Dung Eater, and I found Mog, and I've been beating my head against him. I don't feel quite strong enough to deal with him at the moment. I know there is some kind of Elder Fortisax dragon somewhere, but I have no idea where that is. And of course, whatever else I'd forgotten about or can't remember. I did the inverted tower stuff, which obviously unlocked, I think, going to some of what I've already talked about. I think that was how I got to those places. And it's hard to remember because it's so much. The game's so big, but it's been a lot of fun still. And I think, you know, it's one of those games, very few in your life where when you're playing it, it's like you can't think about anything else. You just want to keep playing it. You got to get through it. I don't put this much time into games anymore, you know, or I rarely ever did, actually. It's just occasionally a game really gets you. This has done that. So 83 hours in. I mean, I think I'm approaching the ending segments, but there's enough in my way that if I struggle with it, it could still take a while. If I were to start taking these guys out, things will move a lot more quickly, I think. So we'll see how it goes.